Shalom, Kal Halal, Yahal Bashim Yahweh Bahashim Kwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us the truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word, the truth, and in sincerity, the hope of the elect tabernacle of David. To all the Aquat that are listening and learning, being a pillar of rest. To the 144,000, the one-third hopeful elect of Israel, I'm the brother Yahshua. I'm back with the WW3 Daily Update. Shalom and salutations to you as well. We're going to start right here, Joel 3. As we do, proclaim ye this. This is Joel 3 and 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Okay? We'll read that again. Let's read 11 real quick. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. This part comes later. Thither cause their mighty ones to come down to the Lord. But we're watching this. Assemble yourselves. Come. And come. Assemble yourselves and come. Come where? Right? All ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Near what? Go to 2. Most High says, Joel 3 and 2 in the NLT, I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Jehoshaphat, or Yehoshaphat. All right? There I will judge them for harming my people, my special possession for scattering my people among the nations and for dividing my land. Those are the reasons why. But what is he doing? Why are all these armies going into the Middle East? Because God is gathering them. Right? He put out the order. What order did he put out? Prepare war. Let all the men of war draw near. Well, let's see. Going to the throwback, my boy Paul and Adrian, right? Off-grid, desert farm. I haven't been here in a while. I thought they got kicked off of YouTube. They're over on Rumble or whatever, but I did resubscribe to this page. I'm not sure if this is the old one. I'm not even sure, but this is 2 hours ago. Emergency alert, a record 8 U.S. aircraft carriers now deployed in the world for what? It should be obvious to everybody right now. If you're watching what's going on, there are multiple theaters of war. And we got not just carriers, but carrier groups. Carrier don't just sail around on its own. You gotta have other vessels to protect it. Right? Let's see. U.S. carrier group has how many vessels? Let's spell it right. What are carrier strike groups? The ships the U.S. sent near it. What are strike groups? Let's find out. See what it says. So it says 8 carriers. How many vessels are in a carrier group? Rick, let's see if they're going to say it. This would be the carrier. I'm not sure if this is a frigate or a battleship. I'm not sure what it is, but these are 2 different vessels, if you will. See if they're going to say it. They should. U.S. Navy maintains 11 carrier strike groups. Not answering my question. Let's find something that would, maybe Wikipedia. Carrier strike group. I asked this specific question, how many? I want to know personnel. Okay, it says, the carrier strike group is a type of carrier battle group. Oh, very different. It is an operation formation composed of roughly that many people, usually a carrier, at least one cruiser, a destroyer squadron of at least 2 destroyers or frigates, and a carrier air wing. The group also includes submarines, logistics ships, supply ship. How many is that? I'm sure that's a lot. See, like this. That would be the carrier, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, they're not given a number outright, so they must vary. But the point is, okay, this is the carrier, and that's part of the carrier. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a carrier group or a strike group, not sure, but that's a lot of boats. So 8 times 11, that's 88 ships or vessels. Okay, so it's not just 8 U.S. aircraft carriers. No, it's carrier groups. And they only got 11. What are they preparing for? World War III. What are they doing? Most High is gathering the armies of the world. They're preparing for war. They're waking up them. They're letting all the men of war draw near. Are they not? Isn't that what this is? Where is it? Are they not drawn near? According to Paul and Adrian? Are now deployed in the world for World War III. Let's listen to a little bit of this.
Hello, everybody. This is Paul from Off-Grid Desert Farming with Paul and Adrian. This is November the 11th, 2023. And we have emergency alert breaking news for you guys this morning. We talked a little bit about this last night on Rumble, but apparently the United States of America, we have all 8 of our aircraft carriers now being deployed around the world somewhere. This is a record number of aircraft carriers. The most aircraft carriers we have deployed at one time in a very, very long time. So, folks, this is not for Israel. This is not for Hezbollah. This is not for Gaza. This is for a major war with Russia, China, and Iran. I repeat, this deployment, this huge deployment of aircraft carriers around the world is not for the Middle East. It's not just for Israel. This is for a confrontation, a global world war with Russia and China and Iran and other global powers. So let's go ahead and review this information real quick. Order of global conflict. U.S. deployed 8 aircraft carriers. All available units have exceeded their nautical limits. Taiwan, 0 hour. The U.S. mobilized all its available aircraft carriers. So we have at least 4 to 5 aircraft carriers now in the Middle East. We have the USS Gerald R. Ford, the USS Roosevelt. We have 2 Marine aircraft carriers and their battle groups. We also have the French aircraft carrier, the Italian aircraft carrier, and the British aircraft carrier. So just in the Middle East region alone, we have over 7 aircraft carriers operating, and then you have to add in the one that's operating in the Pacific near Taiwan and Japan. 8 U.S. aircraft carriers are currently deployed around the world, marking the largest U.S. naval military deployment in many years. Americans are not only worried about the Mediterranean and the Baltic, but also about South China Sea, the Pacific, and Taiwan. The readiness of the American ships shows that Washington is waiting for something perhaps in another battlefield that has not yet been opened like Taiwan. This shows the departure of and deployment of aircraft carriers on the east and west coast of the U.S., ready to rush where needed. American analysts note that there have been many years from seeing 8 of the 11 U.S. aircraft carriers at sea. The 3 aircraft carriers that are still within the confines of the U.S. are the ones that are in need of repair. They're being maintained right now. In other words, the USA has mobilized all of its available aircraft carriers. The USS Gerald R. Ford, the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower is in the Red Sea. Ford is in the Mediterranean Sea. The USS Ronald Reagan and Carl Vinson are in the Western Pacific. The USS George Washington is operating off the East Coast before heading out to Japan next year. On the West Coast is the Nimitz. We have the Theodore Roosevelt, and we have the U.S. Abraham Lincoln. The remaining 3 aircraft carriers are in the shipyards for repairs. The John C. Stennis, the USS Harry Truman, and the George Bush are at Norfolk for maintenance. More U.S. Navy aircraft carriers are underway right now than at any point in quite some years. 8 of the 11 operating aircraft carriers. So folks, I don't care what people say, we are about to go to war, and this will be a world war. I mean, even during the Iraq War, we didn't have this many aircraft carriers deployed at one time. So let's go over the list one more time, folks. These are the aircraft carriers that are deployed right now. The USS Gerald R. Ford, CVN-78 is in the Mediterranean Sea. The USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, CVN-69 is in the Red Sea. USS Ronald Reagan, CVN-76 and Carl Vinson, CVN-70 are in the Western Pacific. They are going to be involved in the war with China. USS George Washington, CV-73, is operating off the East Coast before heading to Japan early next year. On the West Coast is the USS Nimitz, the Theodore Roosevelt, and the Abraham Lincoln. The John C. Stennis and these other 2 USS Harry Truman and George Bush are in Norfolk for maintenance.
When he says early next year, that's less than a month and a half away. Right? So he could say like next month, in 2 months they'll be, right? You say next year, you think a year is going to go by. Now, early next year is like January, which is less than 2 months away.
Yes. We have all of our assets now on deployment or being deployed or fixing to be deployed. There are 50 ships located in the southern Mediterranean and the Red Sea alone. NATO's naval strength in the eastern Mediterranean and Red Sea currently exceeds 50 warships. Actually, it is close to 100 if you include all of the NATO warships. The warships from the United Kingdom, France, and all the other NATO nations. Currently, a total of ships, submarines, and the countries participating in NATO exceeds 50. According to the Russians, this group includes 2 aircraft carriers, 2 cruisers, 11 guided missile destroyers, 14 frigates, 4 helicopter ships, 2 landing craft, 5 coastal ships, 1 combat control ship, and up to 10 support ships, 1 submarine, cruise missile carrier, 1 diesel-electric submarine, not counting Israel's 5 naval units. same time, London sent 2 Royal Navy support vessels, the Argus and the Lime Bay. Also, they promised to launch reconnaissance flights over Israel in the future to send the aircraft carrier HMS Queen Elizabeth to the Mediterranean. Note that Paris and Rome are sending a floating hospital ships to treat the wounded from this area. France immediately sent the Tonnerre helicopter carrier. At some point, Paris sent the second helicopter carrier, the Moose. So we see a large buildup of NATO forces and assets in the region under any pretext. It is possible that the group will grow even more. So this is just this map you're looking at right here. This is just some of the deployed naval assets by the United States and NATO. More ships are being added daily. And this is just only the naval assets. We also have Air Force assets, Marine assets, Army assets being deployed to the Middle East. There is a constant flight of C-17 transport planes from the United States and Europe going into the Middle East, into the South Pacific area. The United States is getting ready to fight Russia and China.
C-130 rolling down the strip. All right. Good enough. Is that good enough? Who doesn't understand that World War III is on and cracking? You don't get it yet? That's all we need, right? That's the end of today's update. Revelation 11 and 14. For good measure, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Second woe is World War II. It's already happened. World War III coming quickly. All right. So with that, all right, look at that. We hope that the elect were edified. You brothers and sisters, with that we can say shalom.